Now, this was recently described by a young theatrical lady of my acquaintance as surely the most butch entertainment since Ben-Hur retired from chariot racing. Well, judge for yourselves as tonight's two competing teams from the three who fight it out throughout the 15 days of the tournament make their entrance. On the near side, the 18 brawny lads from Portsmouth. On the far side, the equally tough Fleet Air Arm team dragging the last century field guns and limbers as used by their heroic predecessors in the Battle of Ladysmith. That was how this extraordinary obstacle race originated, when the Blue Jackets of Terrible and Powerful dragged their guns across the South African terrain, represented by the 5-foot walls, the narrow breaches, and the 28-foot chasm over which they race.
And there you see this afternoon's two crews with Portsmouth on the Royal Box side, and running against them the team from Fleet Air Arm.
My colleague Basil Wrights, a devoted supporter of the Royal Tournament, with his public address commentary, takes the strain with the teams.
And watch the men on the poles of the limber, up to the top, and over goes the limber, assisted by three men from behind, and the guns follow. And now the shears are set up with a 28-foot spar on the top, and over go the first and second swings, taking the wire with the second of the swings, followed by the 10-foot spar weighing 65 pounds, and the shears are then moved back.
And on the far side, the Fleet Air Arm are in trouble there. A locking pin has failed to go properly home. Their riggers collapsed and they've ground to a hideous halt. Very rare that, and just about the worst possible thing that could happen, because it's really only their own momentum which makes it possible for these huge, awkward loads to be moved at all. And once stopped, it must be sheer hell to get going again. Meantime, Pompey, of course, nearest to us, seeing their rivals' misfortune, will try even harder to exploit the advantage.
To a position against the enemy wall where it's dismantled and taken through.
You see the gap, Portsmouth on the near side, well in the lead.
I'm sure there will get many supporters of Fleet Air Arm in the audience this afternoon.
But the Fleet Arm's got a lot to make up.
800 weights of gun barrel again. Onto the carriage and wheeled away. Followed now by the limber, which is carried throughout.
Portsmouth already firing. The Fleet Air Arm still getting the limber through the gap.
Of limber being carried through the wall.
That had to be a clear 20 seconds, and that's a long, long time in this game.
You see the guns and limbers taken over the enemy wall, back across the chasm again, then to fire a further 3 rounds. Now both crews are ready. And here they go again, up and over the top.
Nothing in it. Fleet Air Arm slightly ahead. Speedy wheels across the chasm. Fleet Air Arm slightly behind
Both
again.
the guns taken to the top of the enemy ramp. And first onto the traveller is the gun barrels. 800 weights of this, remember, now to hang suspended between the sheer legs to await the arrival of the carriage. And then we shall see the wheels slipped onto the axles of the carriage.
And they're absolutely neck and neck. There's nothing in it at all.
And now on the enemy side of the chasm, only the Flying Angels left. And they bring with them the 10-foot spars weighing 65 pounds each, and down come the sheer legs.
And you don't want that lot to drop on your foot. Firing overlapping, near enough a dead heat for the run back. So now it's a fight with a vengeance. Can the Fleet Air Arm recover some of those precious seconds on the final run home?
And now, this is the point where everything has to be prepared for the third and final stage of the run, in which the guns and limbers are taken through the hole in the home wall and then raced back to the finishing line opposite the Royal Box. And here they go on the final stage, so cheer your favourites right across the finishing line. A difficult manoeuvre to get the axles of the gun through the small hole in the wall, and then everything is...
Now a sheer pull for the line. Go, go! And who's it going to be? In my judgment, Portsmouth by a bicep.
And as the crews form up, the timekeepers are adding together the separate times for each crew to give the running time. Remember that the official time, which will include any penalties, will come later during the programme this afternoon.
And those corrected times are, in fact, Fleet Air on 3 minutes 27.8, Portsmouth 3 minutes 3.4.